unit. So here you can see that the basic term in database is data. So we have already seen in unit number 1 what is difference between data versus information. So we are just revising that thing because data is the major part in IP. Okay, so data is just raw material used as input or raw facts and figures that are available to us, and this data, it is derived from a Latin word datum, and in processed form of data is known as information. So here you can see the example of data and information. Data is digits, numbers, alphabets, RAM, age, 32 age, etc. So these are the data, and when we process it, it is known as information. RAM age is 32 years, so it is telling about the particular thing about RAM. Okay, so this is processed form of data and it is known as information. Here you can see in the diagram also we are providing bits, and when we process those bits, then it becomes an information. So see this diagram. In this diagram, data is provided as an input, and after processing we will get the information. Okay, so data versus information is clear to you. Next is database management system. So this database management system, it comprises of 3 terms. First is database, second is management, and third is system. So let's talk about the database. Okay, so database means it is a collection of, or you can say database is an organized collection of data. Now collection of data is referred as database, and database contains information relevant to a particular organization or enterprise. Okay, and management system means, management means handling something in a proper way. So the way to store and receive database information that is both convenient and efficient is called database management system. Or to access and manage database, we need a management system. So database management system deal with the management of large information, and it also check the safety of information, and it also ensures the correctness of information. So what we can say about database management system, as it is a software used to manage database, is called database management system. Database means organized collection of data, and DBMS is a software that is used to manage this database. Okay, now let's move towards relational database. So relational database is a database in which the data is stored in the form of relations, or relations we called it as in the form of tables. So you can consider as database as a container, and in that container, if we are having lots of tables, so we can say that that database is known as relational database. A relational database is a collection of one or more tables. Okay, and this relational database management system, we called it in short as RDBMS. So our database used to manage relational database is called relational database management system. Some popular examples of relational database management softwares are, you can see here the names: Oracle, MySQL, Sybase, Ingres, PostgreSQL, Microsoft SQL Server, IBM Informix, SQLite, etc. So here in the diagram you can see the names of RDBMS. Just remember this thing, just try to understand with an example that suppose an empty cartoon or a box is called a database, and if in that box we are having different types of items as tables, then it is known as relational database management system. So you can think like this: a relational database management system contains tables. Okay, so see in this diagram, SQL Server, Oracle, MySQL, Postgres, these are the examples of relational database management system in which data is stored in the form of tables. Okay, so here more examples are given. You can see in this particular page that MySQL and SQL Server, SQLite, Oracle, Hadoop, these are different types of examples of relational databases. Okay, let's talk about the benefits of using a database, or you can say advantages of DBMS. Why we use this database management system? It reduces by using DBMS we can reduce the redundancy, or we can say redundancy can be controlled. Redundancy means duplicacy of data can be controlled. Okay, So next point is inconsistency can be avoided. Inconsistency means if you are having same record at two places, so we can't tell that which record is proper or which is not. So such situation is known as inconsistency. So that type of situations can be avoided by using database management system. And with the help of DBMS, data can be shared and the security restrictions can be applied on data. So we will talk about these advantages later on when we will deal with the tables. Okay, just remember these things, that redundancy can be controlled. Redundancy means duplicacy can be controlled with the help of database management system. Second point, inconsistency can be avoided. That means when we are using DBMS, then no cases are arise that contains inconsistency, and we can share the data with DBMS. And security also, it provides security restrictions. For example, in age, like we are having a form, so in age column we can't put 0 as an age, so it should start with a number that is 1. Okay, so such types of restrictions we can impose on data for data security. Okay, so this comes under the benefits of using a DBMS. Okay, let's talk about the different data models. A data models refers to a set of concepts to describe the structure of a database. As I have already told you that relational database management is a system that consists of tables. Okay, so here data models means there are different types of data models given. So in in this class, in 11th class we will deal about the relational data models, and apart from that many other types of data models also exist. So 4 data models that are used for database management are relational database model. In this model, the data is organized into tables, that is in the form of rows and columns, and table are also called as relation. Second type of model is hierarchical data models, that is out of your syllabus. Network data model, just remember these names. These are different types of models that are available for database management, but what we are going to study is relational data models, so we have to know about this much more. Okay, so these are the names of data models: relational data model, hierarchical data model, network data model, and object oriented data models. Okay, so let's see the basic concept of MySQL and about relations. Okay, so MySQL, it is Michael Wedenes, Alan Larson, David Exmarks given this concept of MySQL, and the logo of MySQL is a dolphin, and a name of that dolphin is Shakila. So here in the diagram you can see above MySQL you will find a symbol of dolphin and the name of that particular dolphin given by the MySQL team was Shakila. Okay, so this MySQL, it is an freely available open source relational database management system, and that uses a language that is known as structured query language. To access this type of database we need a language, so that language is known as structured query language. In MySQL database, information is stored in the form of tables. A single MySQL database can contain many tables at once and store thousands of individual records in a table. Okay, SQL stands for Structured Query Language. It is a language that enables us to create and operate on relational database, which are set of related information stored in the tables. So this, as I have told you, that MySQL is a database management system, and for using that particular database management system we need a language. So that language is SQL, Structured Query Language. Okay, now learn about, let's see the some terms that are used in relational database management. So first is relation. Okay, relation means, you can say a table name is known as relation. A table refer to a two-dimensional representation of data. What we can see in table, the table consists of columns and rows. Okay, so columns are also known as fields or attributes, and rows are also known as records or tuple. So in for the full name of table is relation, and the attributes and fields we call them columns, and rows also known as tuples or records. Okay, the table in a database are generally related to each other. Whatever tables we are storing in database, they are related with each other, and to facilitate efficient management of the data, we use this table. And interrelated tables also reduce the chances of error in the database. All the tables are somewhere related with each other. Okay. Next is degree. Degree means the number of columns that or attributes that are present in a table is called degree of that particular table. Cardinality means the number of rows present in a table is called cardinality of a table. So for remembering the degree and cardinality, what we can use a term that is DARC, DARC, DARC. Okay. So D stands for degree, so degree related with attributes, and R stands for rows related with the cardinality. In this way you can learn this DARC. Okay. Next is here you can see the example of relation, tuple, attribute, degree and cardinality. I have shown here a table with the name student. So student is the relation or name of the table. Tuple means how many tuples are here? 3 rows. So we can say tuples are 3 tuples are here. Okay. Attributes means name of the columns or field names, or you can say the number of columns. So here how many number of columns are present? 4. So degree of this table is 4. Okay. So we have seen all these attributes in this table. Students. Talk about working of DBMS, that is database management system. So here you can see that database, it is a collection of data or a large amount of data. You can say here it is given raw data, figures, statistics, values and facts. And in previous class we have talked that in this chapter we will read about the relational database management system. So below image you can see that a database consists of tables. Okay. Product is one table, customer is another table, and orders is another table. So this database it is a database with name store. Okay. So next image is, so first in consideration we are having a database, then database needs and database management system. So here DBMS is database management system. The working of DBMS is to store data, to retrieve data, that is data storage, data retrieval, and administration work that is provided by DBMS, reports, queries and data security. So these are the working of DBMS. So here in the corresponding below image you can see that our DBMS is MySQL. So MySQL will do all this work: data storage, data retrieval, administration, reports, queries generation and data security. Okay. The next thing is software, application software. Okay, we have studied in unit 1 that user always interact with the application. So we as a user, we are always using the softwares. So in terms of softwares can be written in any programming language, or we called it a website code. So that programming language can be PHP, Ruby, Perl, Python, Java, etc. And at the last part, we are the user, we are interacting with these softwares, and then it will call the DBMS database management system, and database management system will access this database. Okay. So MySQL is a database management system and it uses a language that is SQL. So this is all the working of DBMS to understand this subject. Okay. Next is classification of SQL statements. So these SQL statements, they are classified into 4 categories. First is data definition language, it is DDL. Second is data manipulation language, that is DML. Third is transaction control language, that is TCL. And fourth is data control language, that is DCL. Okay. In class 11th, we will cover only these 2 classification, that is DDL and DML. But when somebody asks you this question that how many categories SQL commands are classified, then you have to tell 4 classes with their names. Okay. In 11th class, we are having only 2, we have to talk about only 2 types of categorization, that is DDL and DML. So in detail, we will study this DDL and DML only in higher class like 12th, and in college, at college level, you will study about this TCL and DCL also. Okay. So DDL, it includes basically three commands. First is create, alter, and drop. Okay, so create command, I have classified it into two parts, because we first we have to create a database, and then in that database we have to create a table. So here I have written create two times. Okay, but it is considered as one, that in that we can write create database / table also. Okay, second is alter. Alter means, first of all we have to create a container. As I have told you earlier, the database is just like a container. So first of all we have to create a container, and then in that container, if we want to modify some changes, then we will use alter command, and if we want to completely remove that particular database, we will use drop command. Okay. Next is DML, that is data manipulation language. It is categorized into four parts. Select query, that means extracting information from the table. Okay, insert means inserting values in a table. Delete means deleting some values. Now drop and delete difference is there, I will tell you later. Okay, update means if we want to change the existing values, then we will use the update command. Okay, and TCL, that is transaction control language. It is used in transaction management system like ATM, business, etc. Okay, it comprises of commit command, rollback, save points, etc. Okay, and this DCL, that consists of grant and revoke commands. Okay, so this is the classification of SQL statements or SQL commands. This is important for the for the exam point of view. Okay. Next is MySQL elements. Okay, MySQL consists of 4 elements. First is literal, second is data type, third is null values, and fourth is comments. Okay, so consider this table for understanding the literals, data type, and null values and commands. Okay. So first is literal. Literal means in this table you can see that we are having 4 columns: roll number, name, gender, and marks. And these columns are having some values, like roll number is having 1, 2, 3 values, Siddharth Sehgal is the name, Gurpreet, etc. So these values are known as literals. Okay, so it refers to a fixed data value. This fixed data value may be of character. Character means alphabet. The values can be in alphabetical form or it can be in number form. So here replay, Raj, 8306. So these are the character values. Always we include characters in single quotes. Okay, 306, it is not a number because we have included in single quotes, so it is considered as a literal. Okay. Numbers not included in quotation marks are just considered as numeric literals. Numeric literal means numerical values. So 22, 18, 19, 97 are these are the examples of numeric literals. Okay. Numeric literals can be either integer literals, that means normal number without any decimal, or can be a real literal. Real literal means with decimal number. Okay, so here 17.0 is integer and 17.5 so here in example you can see that 17 is an integer literal and 17.1 is 17.0 is different than 17 because it is a real literal. 17.5 is also a real literal. So here you can see the examples on the slide. For understanding data types, consider this table, student. Okay, here I have given two tables. One table is having all the columns names and all the entries for the rows also. But in the second table, we are having just the column names and other entries are empty. So the logic of displaying these two tables is that in first table we are having a structure as well as the element, and in the second table we are having only the structures without element. So this logic I will explain you later. Okay, so just consider this table, student. First one. Okay, so on this basis of this table, just observe the values these columns are holding. So from this table we can observe that roll number is holding a numbers in the form of integers, that is 1, 2, 3. Okay, and name column, it contains names in alphabetical order or in the form of alphabets. Okay, like Siddharth, Sehgal, Gurpreet Kaur, Monica. So these are group of characters, or we called it a string. Okay, and third column, that is gender, it contains a single alphabet in capital letter, either M or F. And fourth column, that is marks 1, it contains numbers in decimal form, that is 93.0, 91.0 and 93.0. So on the basis of this, now let's talk about data types. Okay, so let's talk about numeric data type. Numeric data type consists of two types of values. First is integer. Integer, it is used for numbers without decimal, or you can say fractional values. Okay. Second type is decimal values. Decimal values, it is having two parameters. Parameters means we have to provide two things. One is m value and comma d value. M value means it is used for storing floating or real numbers. That means for the decimal values. Okay. So m denotes the total length of numbers, that how many digits we want before decimal. Okay, that is length of the number. And d is the number of decimal digits, like we want two decimal places, values after two decimal places, so we will put to m means four numbers, then we will write 4 comma 2 decimal places. If you want, then you will write 2 in d, and if you want one decimal place, then you will write 1 in place of d as a parameter. That will be more clear to you when we create tables. Okay. Oh, see here, this is the categorization or available data types in MySQL. So data types are classified into three parts: numeric values, that is integer or int. It is further categorized into integer and decimal. Second type is text or strings, that is alphabet. So they are also categorized into two parts. One is char means character, and second is varchar. It is pronounced as varchar, not varchar. Okay, varchar stands for variable character. Okay. And third data type is date and time. It includes two data type: date, that is storing date, and times is used for storing time values. Okay. So let's talk about the date and time data type. So date and time data type, it is used to store date and time. Date is usually stored in year, month and day format, that is YY, MM and DD format. This is the default means automatic way of storing this date. Okay. And time is stored in form of R, that is HH. MM means minutes, and SS means second format, that is R, minute and second format. Okay. Let's talk about string data type. String data type is used to store alphabets. Okay. So one classification is char. Is taking a parameter, that is m. It is used to store fixed length strings. Ams denote maximum number of characters we are storing in that particular value. And char is used for a variable length string, to store variable length string. That means m denotes maximum number of characters that we are providing in varchar. Okay. Now fixed and variable means I'm just quoting an example. Don't write this in your exam. I'm just telling you so that you can get an understanding about this concept of char and varchar in terms of memory. So varchar is more memory efficient as compared to char. Okay. So for example, if in your lab you are having 5 empty chairs, okay, and you are having only if 5 empty chairs means 5 reserved places you have already booked. Okay. And you want to make sit 3 peoples at a time, so 3 chairs are utilizing and 2 remainings are getting wasted. Okay. So this happens in case of char. It utilizes all the memory content that we are assigning to it. It is not making them empty if it is not available, if person is not available. Okay. But in case of varchar, if you are having 5 memory reserve and only 3 persons are sitting on these chairs and 2 remaining chairs are empty, then it will make them free. That means it is just utilizing the memories that we are providing to it. That means variable. It is just changing its length as per the data provided to it. This is the best case to understand this difference between char and varchar. So in technical terms, if difference comes, then you have to write that char is fixed length character string and varchar is variable length characteristics. Okay. Second point is, when a column is given data type as character, then MySQL ensure that all the values stored in that column has this length, that is n bytes. If a value is shorter than this length and then blanks are added, about the size of variable remain n bytes. Okay. And in terms of variable character, when a column is given data type as varchar n, then the maximum size a value in this column can have an n byte. Each value that is stored in this column store exactly as you specify. That means no blanks are added if the length is shorter than the maximum length n. Okay, so this is the main difference between var and varchar. This question also asked very frequently when we talk about the data types. Okay, so here you can see the data types in a tabular form with their descriptions and examples. So just read it out. Okay, next is character and string data types, that is also given as an example here. Next is date and time. So this description data type is given, then the description is given, and then example is also given. Null means if we are not assigning any value to a column, then we can say, if we are not knowing any value, then we can say that it is holding a null value. If a column in a row has no value, a null means unassigned, unknown value. You should use a null value when the actual value is not known, or when a value would not be meaningful. That will be more clear to you when we perform the queries. Just try to understand these things, and when we will do the practicals, I will definitely explain these things there also. Okay, so this is all about today's class. We will continue this unit in the next video. Thank you.